The stage is set for evil world domination, and they would have gotten away with it too if not for these abominably dim-witted decisions.
Your incompetence is nothing short of unspeakable.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down the times Disney villains famously let idiotic whims override their wicked ways.
Let's see. Take responsibility for my own life or blame you. Ding, 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 ding! Blame you wins hands down!
Number 30. Hopeless Henchmen, Lilo and Stitch. The Grand Councilwoman knows absolutely nothing about planet Earth.
Can we not simply destroy the island?
No! Crazy head?
But she does know she wants Stitch to be retrieved from Hawaii and sent back to intergalactic imprisonment.
We are willing to trade your freedom for his capture.
This plan, like many other villain schemes, hinges on the reliability of her underlings. And like in most other cases, Pleakley and Jumba simply fail to execute.
Oh great, he's loose!
Eventually, the Grand Councilwoman sends a tougher enforcer, Captain Gantu, to finish the job. So why even waste time relying on those hapless henchmen in the first place? Especially considering Pleakley is more interested in studying mosquitoes than doing his leader's bidding.
They like me! They're nuzzling my flesh with their noses!
Clearly, the Councilwoman would have benefited from a more strategic extraction mission. Number 29. Heavy Lifting, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Considering the evil queen had just transformed herself into a frail hag, it's a bit difficult to wrap one's head around her final game plan. She's been pursued to the top of a cliff, and the dwarfs are closing in on her.
I'm trapped. Oh, what do I do?
With nowhere to turn, she decides to flex those granny muscles by lifting an enormous boulder using a thin branch.
I'll get you! I'll crush your bones!
To her credit, the witch does get a bit of movement out of it. She even lets out a little self-assured cackle, gleefully wallowing in the off-camera strength training that enabled this feat. When a bolt of lightning shatters the jagged rock beneath her, she's sent tumbling to her death. As if that wasn't enough, the boulder follows her down. Number 28. The Robot Alliance, Meet the Robinsons. This almost feels like cheating because Goob sort of has the mind of a stunted child, and his motivation can be summarized as a grudge held over losing a Little League baseball game.
Get him! If I hadn't fallen asleep, I would have caught the ball, and we would have won. Do you understand?
Rather than ruling the world, he gets his kicks out of TPing the Robinson headquarters. How wicked.
Robinson! You stink!
At any rate, he makes the incredibly foolish decision to trust an alliance with a dangerously sentient piece of robotic headwear. Doris convinces him they have a common enemy, but ultimately uses him to advance her goal of enslaving mankind.
Oh, Lewis, it's already happened.
Considering Goob is a bumbling fool, he's the perfect candidate to manipulate.
And while my plan for revenge was brilliant, Doris's was... well, we went with Doris's.
So the fact that he neglects to consider why Doris was decommissioned in the first place is a pretty fatal flaw in his logic.
You don't know what you're doing.
Yes, I do! I'm ruining your future!
She's using you, Goob, and when she gets what she wants, she'll get rid of you.
What?
Number 27. No PR training, Wish. While interviewing apprentice Asha, King Magnifico makes a number of horrendously stupid moves that prove he desperately needed a PR team. Let's recap his idiocy. 1. Invite Asha into your chamber to show her all the wishes you're storing.
You're one of the very few I have ever invited in here.
2. Tell her that most of these wishes will never be granted.
So most of these wishes will never be granted?
Yet I still protect them like all the others.
3. Upset her by refusing to grant her grandfather's wish.
It is my responsibility to only grant the wishes I am sure are good for Rosas.
4. Confess you'll never give people's wishes back or allow them to remember their wishes.
Can't you just give them back instead?
Excuse me?
5. Posture like a cruel, ineffective king.
I decide what everyone deserves.
6. Assume the scrappy protagonist won't attempt to break in and take those wishes back for the people.
They don't know what they're missing. But you do. And now I do. It's not fair.
Why Magnifico would invite a girl he doesn't know into his corrupt wish-granting practice without signing an NDA is beyond us. Either way, he set himself up for a whistleblowing scandal that inevitably upends his domain.
How do we know our wishes are safe? We never see them.
Why can't we see them? Why is that a rule?
And why can't we remember them?
Number 26. Crocodile Bites, Peter Pan. After snacking on Captain Hook's hand, Tick-Tock the crocodile has developed a taste for the pirate. The croc stalks Hook throughout the film, with the sound of the clock signaling impending doom. Instead of taking care of the beast, Hook focuses all his energy on the magical boy who bested him in a duel. You'd think that a fierce, battle-tested pirate who sailed the seas and conquered lands would be adept enough to kill a crocodile. After all, he's known for his swordsmanship and has an arsenal of weapons at his disposal. Tick-Tock could have made a great jerky to feed his crew, but no. Hook has more pressing matters, like refining his piano skills. Naturally, the arc concludes with Tick-Tock chasing Hook off into the night. Number 25. Shiny Things, Moana. The superficial, gold-encrusted crab Tamatoa essentially falls victim to his own vanity in the end. At one point, he has his adversary Maui pinned down while Moana's trapped in a cage. The gargantuan monster can pretty easily devour either of his enemies. Instead, he notices the shiny little faux heart that Moana crafted. Like a bug to light, think King Candy, Tamatoa drops his guard in pursuit of the shiny object.
The power of creation for a crustacean. Where is it? Where is it?
This trickery works perfectly, allowing the duo to make their escape and leave the greedy crustacean stuck on his back, where he remains in a post-credit scene.
Still upside down here. Just need a little push.
Failing to simply finish off the hero seems to be a common error among Disney villains, so Tamatoa should have kept at least one of his lopsided eyes on the real prize.
Just pick an eye, babe. I can't concentrate on what I'm saying if you keep... Yeah, pick one. Pick one.
Number 24. Identity Crisis, The Great Mouse Detective. It's one thing that Professor Ratigan keeps a giant cat as a pet. It's another that he simply cannot get over the fact that he's a rat. I mean, it's literally in his name.
Ratigan! To Ratigan, the world's greatest rat.
Anytime a character acknowledges his vermin identity, he has a total meltdown.
What did you call me?
Oh, he didn't mean it, Professor. It was just a slip of the tongue.
I am not a rat!
Ratigan sees himself as a sophisticated, oversized mouse. So being called a rat, which he views as derogatory, clashes with his aggrandized self-image.
Supreme ruler of all mousedom!
This emotional mismanagement undermines his ability to think clearly. For a villain with such convoluted schemes, Ratigan could have gotten a lot further if he came to accept his identity. The story culminates in him making the brazen decision to spar on top of Big Ben, and we know how that ends. Number 23. Overtaxing, Robin Hood. The tale of Robin Hood is a classic, and the Disney retelling sees Prince John fall into the same foolish trap as earlier depictions. The thumb-sucking lion is obsessed with his riches. The people of his kingdom are already stretched pretty thin, but he has no issue taxing them even more.
Taxes! Taxes! Beautiful, lovely taxes!
This ruthless leadership style is in many ways a result of his mommy issues, which left unresolved have made him a very bitter baddie.
Mother always did like Richard best.
Despite his accrued wealth, he demands more at the expense of his subjects. It's this swindling and overtaxing that convinces Robin Hood to steal back the misappropriated gold. Plus, it motivates Nottingham to rebel against his army. Had Prince John worked out a better tax plan, maybe King Richard wouldn't have kicked him off the throne at first chance.
It appears that I now have an outlaw for an in-law.
Number 22. Road Rage, 101 Dalmatians. Cruella will do anything for a new fur coat, and apparently that includes causing a near-fatal car accident.
Oh, there she is, Cruella!
The puppies are finally escaping after boarding a getaway truck. In a last-ditch effort to intervene, Cruella attempts to run the driver off the road. At one point, she nearly sends them all over the edge of a cliff. Despite flying off an overpass and burying her car in the snow, she still manages to kick it into high gear, and the chase is on. It seems the tempered approach would be to get the driver's attention so that he pulls over. Instead, Cruella turns the twisted highway into a Mad Max course. The chaotic scene ultimately leaves her stranded in a pile of rubble.
Oh, you imbecile!
Shut up.
Number 21. Bad Math, the Aristocats. Another villain who wants to eliminate a litter of pets. At least the feckless butler Edgar just wants to ship the kitties off to Timbuktu rather than skinning them alive.
You are going to Timbuktu if it's the last thing I do.
The buffoon overhears that the opera diva he waits on, Madame Adelaide Bonfamille, will be leaving her inheritance to her cats first before it transfers to him.
Your cats?
Logically, someone has to manage the cat's money, and it would likely be him. But he doesn't account for this, instead erroneously crunching numbers to convince himself that the cats will outlive him.
Cat'll live about 12 years. I can't wait. And each cat has 9 lives. That's 4 times 12 and multiplied by 9 times... No, it's less than that. Anyway, it's much longer than I'd ever live. I'll be gone.
Rather than just waiting for their short lifespans to run out, and embezzling in the meantime, because what can a cat really do about that? He concocts a number of absurd schemes that fail and leave him outcast instead.
Very well. Scratch one's butler.
You know, George, if Edgar had only known about the will, I'm sure he never would have left.
Number 20. Not clearly labeling poisons, the Emperor's New Groove. If you're going to keep a secret lair full of deadly poisons, you've got to stay organized.
Oh, right. The poison for Cusco. The poison chosen specially to kill Cusco. Cusco's poison. That poison?
Yes, that poison.
It's easy to blame Kronk for messing up the assassination attempt, but he's right. Yzma needs a better labeling system. Instead of killing Emperor Cusco, the pair accidentally turn him into a llama thanks to a shoddy label.
This isn't poison. This is extract of llama! Ugh.
You know, in my defense, your poisons all look alike. You might think about relabeling some of them.
Things get even more chaotic later in the movie when Yzma knocks over an entire case full of unlabeled potions. She might think she's pulled one over on our heroes, but we have to assume she learns her lesson after she gets transformed into a kitten.
Where did it go? Where is it?
Looking for this. Is that my voice? Is that my voice? Oh well.
Number 19. Standing on the Gargoyle, the Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Leaving so soon?
Claude Frollo has clearly never seen a Disney movie, because otherwise he'd known that falling from a height is the #1 way the villains die. After falling over a ledge of the cathedral and hoisting himself up onto the gargoyle, he could easily make it back to safety. But he's so obsessed with killing Esmeralda and Quasimodo that he instead stands up on the gargoyle and raises his sword to deal the final blow.
I should have known you'd risk your life to save that gypsy witch, just as your own mother died trying to save you.
That, of course, is his fatal mistake. In a stroke of divine justice, the gargoyle breaks and Frollo plummets to his death. It's a satisfying ending for one of the creepiest villains ever animated. Number 18. Provoking the Bird, A Bug's Life. Flick's plan to scare the evil grasshoppers away from the ant's nest using a fake bird is pretty smart, and it almost works.
We are going to build a bird that we can operate from the inside, which would then be hoisted
above the anthill and hidden high in the tree.
Unfortunately, PT ruins everything when he sets the bird on fire. However, the ruse pays off in the end when Flick is able to lure Hopper to a real bird's nest. Assuming it's another trick, Hopper makes the mistake of taunting the bird instead of running for his life.
Another one of your little bird tricks?
Yep.
Are there a bunch of little girls in this one too? Hello, girls!
The bird snatches him up and her chicks make a quick meal out of him. Considering that birds are by far the most dangerous thing around, he should have played it safe, even if he didn't think this one was real. Number 17. Dealing with dark spirits, The Princess and the Frog. Everyone knows that when you make deals with the devil, you pay the price. The money-hungry Dr. Facilier promises wayward souls to his friends on the other side, who are actually dark voodoo spirits.
Don't blame me. You can blame my friends on the other side. Now what you wanted?
In return, they give him magical powers to carry out his evil plans. But when those plans go awry and Dr. Facilier can't pay his debts, he has to pay with his own soul instead.
How am I ever going to pay back my debt? No, I'm not ready at all.
You could make the case that his real fault was greed, or maybe even overconfidence, but there are plenty of other underhanded ways to make money without risking your soul. Number 16. Toying with Mowgli for too long, The Jungle Book. Shere Khan has been hunting for the man cub for some time, and when he finally gets Mowgli in his clutches, you'd think he'd want to dispatch him as quickly as possible. But Mowgli shows no fear of the tiger, and this annoys Shere Khan. He's a predator after all, and he loves the thrill of the chase.
And such spirit is deserving of a sporting chance. Now, I'm going to close my eyes and count to 10. It makes the chase more interesting.
Instead of devouring Mowgli right away, he gives him 10 seconds to run, and this is just enough time for Baloo to show up and save the day. Kaa the Python makes the same mistake. He hypnotizes Mowgli and has an easy opportunity to swallow him, but he wastes time singing and toying with the boy, and his prey slips out of his grasp, literally. Number 15. Admitting his deeds where everyone can hear, Coco. It seems that Ernesto de la Cruz committed the perfect crime. He got away with poisoning his best friend and is still beloved by his fans, even in the afterlife. In fact, decades pass before anyone, even his victim, figures out what happened, despite Ernesto starring in a film that recreates the murder.
Our friendship. I will move
heaven and earth for you, amigo. Salud! Poison!
You know, I did all my own stunts.
Eventually, Ernesto makes the same blunder that brings down so many movie villains. He gets too cocky. He's foolish enough to admit his misdeeds just a few feet away from a stadium full of people. Not to mention a live video feed.
You're just the guy who murdered him and stole his songs!
Murdered? I am the one who's willing to do what it takes to seize my moment. Whatever it takes.
The crowd and Pepita turn on Ernesto, and he finally gets what he deserves. Number 14. Don't underestimate the good fairies, Sleeping Beauty. Individually, Flora, Fauna, and Merryweather are no match for Maleficent, but together, they're a force to be reckoned with. The evil fairy's first mistake is to cast her curse before Merryweather has bestowed her blessing, giving the blue fairy a chance to counteract the worst effects.
Not in death, but just in sleep, the fateful prophecy you'll keep. And from this slumber you shall wake, when true love's kiss the spell shall break.
Later, Maleficent captures Philip, the only person capable of breaking the spell, but once again ignores the good fairies. They free Philip from the dungeon pretty easily, and even give him some sweet weapons.
So arm thyself with this enchanted shield of virtue, and this mighty sword of truth. For these weapons of righteousness will triumph over evil.
And just when it seems that Maleficent has him defeated, the fairies enchant his sword so that it strikes a killing blow. You'd think by that point Maleficent would have learned to take them a little more seriously. Number 13. Relying on pain and panic, Hercules. It's a lesson many a movie villain has learned the hard way. Don't count on bumbling henchmen to do your dirty work for you. Hades needs to get Herc out of the picture in order to defeat Zeus. For some reason, instead of killing Herc himself, he sends Pain and Panic to turn the baby mortal and finish him off. Of course they screw it up.
Hades is gonna kill us when he finds out what happened. You mean, if he finds out? Of course he's gonna If is good.
Miraculously, they do manage to smuggle Hercules out of Olympus, but they fail to make sure he drinks all of Hades' potion. This leaves him with his superhuman strength intact. It makes you wonder why Hades keeps these two around at all.
I'm about to rearrange the cosmos. And the one schlemiel who can lost it up is waltzing around in the way!
Number 12. Driving onto train tracks, Oliver and Company.
This has all been very entertaining.
But the party is over.
To be fair, Fagin and his motley crew are the first to drive into the subway and onto the tracks as they flee from the evil loan shark Sykes. But at least Fagin's motorbike has a bit more maneuverability. Once Sykes' big fancy car hits the tracks, it's not getting off of them easily. And this is New York City. How far does he think he can drive before he runs into a train?
Hey, get off my back, woman! I'm driving! Jenny,
Sykes is so blinded by greed that he sacrifices both of his dogs and eventually his own life in pursuit of a little ransom money. Don't mess around on train tracks, kids. They're dangerous. Number 11. Not staying with Anna until she died. Frozen. This is truly a rookie mistake. Hans must be thrilled when Anna shows up at the palace nearly frozen to death and reveals that Elsa's responsible. Anna will soon be out of the way, and Hans will have the excuse he needs to take out Elsa too. All he has to do is wait with Anna until she dies, and the kingdom will be his.
I figured after we'd married, I'd have to stage a little accident for Elsa.
Hans! No! Stop!
But then she doomed herself, and you were dumb enough to go after her.
However, he's so eager to be king, he leaves Anna alone in a locked room to prematurely tell everyone that she's dead. He doesn't even bother to post a guard at the door, and a snowman is able to break in and free her. You were so close, Hans. You just needed to be a little patient.
Anna? But she froze your heart.
The only frozen heart around here is yours.
Number 10. Butterfingers, Beauty and the Beast.
Too kind and gentle to fight back.
My, what a fall, Gaston. Wait, that isn't how the song goes. He may be capable of a lot, but apparently having a strong grip isn't one of Gaston's many abilities. While trying to kill Beast, Gaston is scaling the side of the castle in the rain, and only holding on with one hand. After a skirmish, he slips right off the castle, and that's the end of it. This is of course a convenient plot device that lets the Beast remain innocent by sparing Gaston's life, while still giving the villain an ending he deserves. Number 9. Tormenting Toys, Toy Story.
We don't like being blown up, Sid.
Even though you wouldn't expect your toys to come alive and seek vengeance, torture is never a good idea. You see, Sid loved to torment his toys. He would burn them and try to launch them into space. But his favorite mode of torture was creating Frankendolls, by ripping them apart and putting them together in sinister ways.
Hannah! Genie's all better now.
Woody rallied Sid's victims to save Buzz, turning them against their creator.
We toys can see everything.
So play nice.
Sid's actions are almost excusable, since he didn't know the toys were alive. But Lotso in Toy Story 3 was a toy himself.
Where's your kid now, Sheriff?
That psychopath left the toys to die, but the gang escapes and gets justice. Number 8. Unguarded Cauldron, the Black Cauldron. The Horned King is one of the scariest of all the Disney villains, but he sure isn't the smartest.
How long I have thirsted to be a god among mortal men.
His entire plan for world domination revolves around the Black Cauldron, which creates an undead army. The Horned King works hard looking for the thing, even using a pig to find it. But once he finally gets it, he leaves it totally unguarded. It's not like he didn't have the resources. With all the dead guys supporting him, the lack of guards meant that little Gurgi could stop the cauldron, instantly killing the army and putting an end to the Horned King. Number 7. Cutting the Vines, Tarzan. When you're hanging by a thread, or a vine in this case, it's not a good idea to cut your only lifeline, especially when there is another vine wrapped around your neck.
Clayton! Clayton, don't!
Clayton shows a disdain for the animals of the jungle throughout Tarzan, but in the end, he proves himself to have much less humanity than they do. To defeat him, Tarzan doesn't even need to get blood on his hands, since Clayton unintentionally hangs himself in the vines, in one of the more graphic villain deaths in the Disney canon. Number 6. Shooting John Smith, Pocahontas. He sure puts the rat in Ratcliffe. This villain is obsessed with gold, and will stop at nothing to get it.
My rivals back home, it's not that I'm bitter, but think how they'll squirm when they see how I glitter.
He thinks the natives are hiding treasure in the New World, so he decides they need to die. His men weren't necessarily on board with the whole mass murder thing, but they rally together when John Smith is sentenced to death by Chief Powhatan.
And worse, they're savages, barely even human.
Luckily, Pocahontas stopped the impending battle, but Ratcliffe decided to fire anyway and shot John.
Fine, I'll settle this myself. No!
Whether he was aiming at John is irrelevant, since John was the only reason his men went to war in the first place. He would have been better off literally shooting himself in the foot. Number 5. Not changing Rapunzel's birthday, Tangled. If you're gonna go through the effort of kidnapping a princess, then you better put some thought into your plan. When Mother Gothel took Rapunzel from her family, she took her to a hidden tower in the middle of nowhere. But it seems common sense stopped there, because she kept Rapunzel's original birthday, instead of changing it to literally anything else.
And I can't help but feel like they're meant for me.
You know, the same day thousands of lanterns are released in honor of the missing princess.
You mean the lantern thing they do for the princess?
Lanterns. I knew they weren't stars.
The connection between the lanterns and her birthday lead Rapunzel to the truth, and ultimately, to Gothel's downfall. Number 4. Big Mouth, Monsters, Inc.
But I spotted several big mistakes.
But how did...
Some Disney villains just can't pass up an opportunity to brag.
Times have changed. Scaring isn't enough anymore. But kidnapping children? I'll kidnap 1,000 children before I let this company die, and I'll silence anyone who gets in my way!
Mr. Waternoose makes the mistake of revealing his plan before he can even act on it. His power plant, which supplies power through the screams of human children, isn't doing too well, so his brilliant idea is to kidnap children to harvest their screams. This breaks ethics codes even in the monster world, and luckily he reveals his plot while being unknowingly recorded, and is promptly arrested. Mayor Bellwether makes a similar mistake in Zootopia. She reveals her plan to Judy, who is always armed with her trusty carrot pen/recorder. Will villains ever learn?
It's my word against yours.
Ooh, actually...
And I'll dart every predator in Zootopia to keep it that way.
It's your word against yours.
It's called a hustle, sweetheart.
Boom.
Number 3. Trusting Hyenas, The Lion King. All things considered, Scar is a pretty smart lion. Psychotic? Maybe, but smart.
You have no idea.
For whatever reason, let's call it laziness, he relies on the hyenas to help him hatch his plan.
Of course, quid pro quo, you're expected to take certain duties on board.
Everyone knows the hyenas aren't very bright, and Scar himself has noted this on a few occasions.
I'm surrounded by idiots.
Now you, Scar, I mean, you're one of us.
Yet he trusts them to kill Simba as a cub, which they don't do, and he trusts them not to turn on him, which they actually do. When going through a plan to kill your brother, with the possibility of angering a pride of lions, it's important to remember that if you want something done right, you'd better do it yourself. Number 2. Wearing a cape, The Incredibles.
Oh, he had a great look. Oh, the cape and the boots.
No capes.
Isn't that my decision?
Do you remember Thunderhead?
Capes may look cool, but when you're in the middle of fighting for your life, they can be extremely impractical. Capes have taken the lives of superheroes and villains alike.
Stratogale, April 23rd, 57. Cape caught in a jet turbine.
You can't generalize.
This is why Edna Mode has one rule when designing supersuits: no capes.
Splashdown sucked into a vortex. No capes.
Syndrome may be able to build giant superhero-killing robots, but when it comes to fashion, he's clueless. He foolishly adds a cape to his supersuit and gets sucked into his own jet engine. and he wonders why Mr. Incredible didn't want to partner with him. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Becoming a genie. Aladdin. Don't you love it when a well-laid plan comes together? Unfortunately for this Grand Vizier, this did not happen.
But there's a new order now. My order.
Jafar had everyone and everything where he wanted them. He'd become the most powerful sorcerer. He was the Sultan, and he was about to kill Aladdin. Instead, he lets Aladdin talk him into becoming a genie.
He gave you your power. He can take it away.
Al, what are you doing? Why are you bringing me into this?
Face it, Jafar. You're still just second best.
The genie may have phenomenal cosmic power, but it also comes with an itty-bitty living space.
No! I'm getting out of here! Phenomenal cosmic powers?
Come on, you're the genie! I know!
Itty-bitty living space. Al, you little genius, you.
Good job, Jafar. You let your enemy convince you to enslave yourself. He really should have known better, considering his extensive knowledge of arcane lore. Which villain's decision do you think was the dumbest? Let us know in the comments below.
Pull the lever, Gronk. Run!